Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory and commonwealth located in the Caribbean. It's a beautiful island with a lot of history and diversity, but it is $71.1 billion in debt. Funnily enough, when it was discovered, there was a lot of gold in the river, inclining its discoverers to call it Puerto Rico, in English, rich port. To put it in perspective, every inhabitant would have to pay around $20,000 to pay it off, there being 3.5 million Puerto Ricans living in Puerto Rico. Even if this was requested, most Puerto Ricans live under the poverty line. In fact, the percentage of those who live under the poverty line, which is 50%, in Puerto Rico is higher than any other U.S. state. Although it makes sense to first look into the debt crisis in Puerto Rico, we must first look into where this debt arises from and how Puerto Ricans have not been able to do so much about it. As I mentioned before, Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, not a U.S. state. This political status has ramifications on its government's power and life in Puerto Rico. We must first look at the territorial clause to show how centuries of colonialism have negatively affected the lives of Puerto Ricans. The territorial clause basically allows the U.S. state to make any changes to the rules in Puerto Rico as needed. For the benefit of the United States, U.S. corporations were encouraged to work in Puerto Rico because they would take home all the profits. These are just some of the reasons, but what effect does this have on Puerto Ricans? Decreased job prospects, net migration of 1.8%, and unemployment rate reached 13% in 2016, higher than the U.S.'s 5%. Now, how can we help Puerto Rico in long term? We need to give good and equal educational opportunities to all, and we need to increase affordability and mobility of education.